If you love liberty, declare your independence by signing the Shire Society Declaration at shiresociety.com.
Speaker is a early mover for the Free State Project and was one of our congressional candidates in District 1 in 2016. Please welcome Robert Lombardo.
Okay. It sucks to be short. Alrighty. Well, thanks everyone. Can you hear me okay?
No.
No? No. It's not
It's on.
It's not on. I'm just not
Get a
loud
little
enough.
closer to it.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now the first time I did this, it went rather well, so I'm gonna try to make this a theme for when I speak, and that is to include a movie reference. So be prepared. But it won't be an Al Pacino impression like it was last time, so don't worry. I'll talk about the libertarian moment. The libertarian moment, we've all heard that, I assume. Could this be the libertarian moment? Well, what is meant by the libertarian moment? Perhaps we should figure that out so that we can recognize it when it actually happens. So I thought I'd share with you what I believe it to be, and you can decide if you concur. And either way, I think it will help you to get to know me a little better. I personally believe that the goal of libertarianism is a stateless society. Not everyone feels that way. That's not relevant right now. I only mention that because I acknowledge that it's extremely unlikely for such a goal to be achieved in my lifetime. I've resigned myself to that. But I'm confident that I will witness that libertarian moment. I don't think we've seen it yet. I don't think this past election was it. And something told me at the time that was the case as well. And I honestly think we've got a lot of work cut out for us before it actually comes about. But that's okay. We shouldn't fear the hard work where the objective is so virtuous. So that moment, that libertarian moment, will be a turning point in this ideological battle. And it is a battle. It's a war, not a physical one, let's hope it never gets there, but it's opposing forces clashing together. At last year's convention, I used the analogy of a football game and the movement being a football team. And it is in the same way analogous to an army fighting to gain ground in one direction or another. I'm of the opinion that all libertarians, both small L and big L, if we all fought for liberty the way we would fight a war, there would be a lot less division amongst us. And in this I'm alluding to strategy, short-term and intermediate goals, pathway to victory. In Sun Tzu's Art of War, it's the definitive work on this topic, and not just for literal war. We actually use it in business, some professionals have, and it's marketed in some places as a professional development text for the same reason that it can apply to politics. It deals with strategy, identifying and overcoming obstacles, and recognizing and understanding your situation relative to others. Personally, my favorite section of the book is the 9 situations, also translated as the 9 varieties of ground. It is about gauging your surroundings and your current status to determine what you should do or what you should not do next. I could probably do an entire presentation on just that one chapter alone. He cites also, of course, the importance of knowing your opposition. And I believe, of course, we need to do that. The forces against us that are driving this growth of the state, spreading the war and poverty and the animosity among people, they are people too. You know, we sometimes have to remind ourselves of that. You know, they're not this faceless machine. Think of how we express it sometimes as this this shadowy figure, the state, the media, NWO, whatever it is. They're people with strengths and weaknesses just like us. And this reminds me, here it comes, of Rocky IV. Now, if you haven't seen the Rocky movies, if you haven't seen the movies, we need to spend some time together. But, this one, Rocky IV, was during the Cold War years, and Rocky was up against the Russian Ivan Drago. These are boxing movies, in case anyone really doesn't know. But Drago towers over Rocky, and throughout the movie he has this aura of invincibility. He's just huge, and he shows no emotion. And the fight starts off, of course, with Drago just pummeling Rocky, and it just seems hopeless. And he barely makes it out of the first round, and in the second round he's in a corner and can't get out, and Drago's just pouring it on. Rocky is on what Sun Tzu would describe as desperate ground. So in this particular round, Rocky just starts flailing, swinging, doing anything he can, and he lands one. And he cuts Drago around the eye. And the scene slows down. It's very well done. Great part of the movie. And Rocky's manager, Duke, yells out, "He's cut! He's cut!" And Drago backs off. And for the first time, it's very well played by the actor Dolph Lundgren, we see a look of fear and doubt in his face because pain was inflicted. Now, it's a boxing match. The guys are going to get hit, they're going to get cut, they're going to bleed. Rocky's already cut and bleeding. Why did Duke cry out at that one moment? One cut from one punch isn't all that significant, especially since up to that point the fight was so one-sided. But it was a paradigm shift, and he recognized that. So after the round, they're in the corners, and he says to Rocky, this is a great movie moment as well, he says, "You cut him, you hurt him, you see, he's not a machine, he's a man." And of course, Drago's in the other corner telling his trainer, "Rocky he's not human, he's like a piece of iron." The perceptions were reversed. And then it was a real fight. That's what the libertarian moment will feel like for us. And we'll still have a long road after it. The fight in the movie went on to last the full however many rounds they are in boxing. I don't know. But that moment is, I'm not a boxer, but that moment was key and will be key. When there's finally fear and doubt among those who are intent on eternally shackling humanity, when they start to believe, that we can win, and when we can see the path to victory, though long may it be. Right now we have this misconception, in my opinion anyway, that we can win because we're right. No details around the plan or the strategy. But we know we're right, we're so awesome. Look at all the books we've read, and how principled we are. We just love freedom so much, our passion will win the day. That's fantasy, in my opinion. What bothers me most about this mindset is there are some in our movement who are so valuable, who are so much knowledge, and they're so principled, they principle themselves out of the fight. And if you were under fire on an actual fight, in an actual battlefield, it wouldn't bother you so much that the guy next to you wasn't perfectly aligned with you as to the end game. It wouldn't only matter in which way they're pointed. You hear all the time, can't support this libertarian, that he's still too statist, or I disagree on him on an important issue. Or some say they can't vote at all, makes me part of the system, just wait for it all to fall apart. There's no strategy there. Do you really think, or does anyone really think, that one glorious day, after the great collapse of the monetary system and the dissolution of all political bounds, there'd be this mass awakening, and half the people would suddenly recognize the folly of statism? That's pipe dreams, cop-outs. Passion and devotion are certainly virtues, but are no guarantee against perseverance and strategy. In the American Civil War, the Confederates were certainly the more passionate, and it served them well for a while. But General Grant reached Richmond in very slow, deliberate, dogged actions. The persistence and resolve won the day. Just as Texas Governor Sam Houston warned would happen when he opposed secession, though he still sided ideologically with the rebels. He actually, funny story, he actually attributed the determination of Northerners to the temperate climate. Take from that what you will. But the point is, we need to keep fighting both to a point where we experience that libertarian moment and even thereafter. Because the statists opposed to us right now have us on the ropes at every election, on desperate ground, and invincibly tower over us like Drago, and will be forever persistent and determined. Passion and principle alone will not win this fight. We need ground games like they have. We need calculated moves like they have. We need to come together like they do. We need more people, especially here in New Hampshire, to have the courage like Caleb and Joseph and switch to the party. I understand it's not easy. Being principled requires integrity and courage. The integrity to do what is right, even if nobody is watching, and the courage to do what many consider to be wrong, even if everybody is watching. So this might not be for everybody, and that's okay. If you think you're still more useful in either the other parties, that's okay too. Instead of arguing over which way is better, chiding each other for choosing different paths, let's do both, all of the above. Burn the candle at both ends. But let's work with each other, not against each other. Do not forget that there are other people against all of us, actual people who love nothing more than seeing us fight each other rather than them. The libertarian moment won't be that point of victory and result in immediate success where we could just put our feet up and bask in all the liberty. It will be the moment when those against us are revealed as just people who are for the first time scared of us. And a great battle will still await even after that. So I look forward to that libertarian moment, and I hope we'll all share it together. So let's get to work.
We'd like to invite you to visit freekeen.com. Freekeen.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. Freekeen.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. Freekeen.com.
I should be in Keene, New Hampshire with the Free Staters.